is seen very often, pretty much anywhere, right? But Retro with the Shovel Knight, we were talking about this. Oh,
I'm so happy.
Hey,
I need to remain unbiased, but I am so happy right now. I am a resident Shovel Knight main, one of the last remaining. We are going extinct, so it's nice to see some preservation. The very low bounty, I am so excited.
The fact that Retro actually managed to nab a fish out of that's still insane to me. But here we are. So, as I've said before, right? Retro, one of the players who still has one of the least aptly named tags, but this time around, finally living up to the name, bringing back an old classic, the Shovel Knight for the Hodan here. Meanwhile, Yam, you know, if there's any statement that's linked to Yam, it's too bad Hodan sucks. This man has been able to just keep on trucking with the Hodan, you know, whether it be propaganda or just continual innovation. This Hodan has so many things that you have to worry about.
Yeah, Retro constantly looking for those down air spikes with the side B, and it's just always fun to see him bring out this character. The up B sweet spot, you love to see it. I mean, unless you're not a fan of Shovel Knight, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you love to see it if you're a Retro fan, but right now, Yam in a little bit of trouble here on the back foot. You know, Shovel Knight does have the momentum mail taken, and oh my god! I know it's been a while, but man, Retro has not rusted a bit.
That is one of my favorite things Retro does with his SK. Just drags you off to the side blast zone, whether he lands an up B or not. But taking the Ghost Gloves, a very meta combination here of relics.
Incredibly meta choice here, and also, I think this is a very rare choice from Retro. We don't really see the momentum male Ghost Gloves pick very often, but I mean, in the Hodan matchup, it makes so much sense, right? You know, you have the Ghost Gloves to control the neutral, and just like that, you know, having more weight to deal with the Hodan sounds so important.
Of course, and even if he was to pick mobile gear as he usually does, it's still a good choice, especially for just combo breaking, for movement, all of this. But just Yam throwing out a bunch of neutral beats, and that up B is going to find its mark. Retro buying Warhorn.
Horn? Okay.
Now, this is very unexpected from Retro.
Alright, I mean, Retro still trying to find a way how to break through these monkey copters from Yam here. I mean, Yam found the one button that, you know, the one button to rule them all, right? That monkey copter's been doing so much work, but Retro trying to respond with a neutral B of his own here.
Yeah, this is a very fun matchup because it's just the battle of pressing buttons. And doesn't go for the up air, which would have maybe killed the Hodan at that percent.
Yeah, you gotta wonder, you know, is this for the meme or is this for the win? And there it is. Retro not opting to play advantage, opting to play William Tell's Overture of 1812 instead, and just doots Yam into the blast zone. Says, go ahead, take your neutral B. I don't want it. This is how you use a neutral B.
Exactly, and we go on to Forest Floor. Now, Retro just throwing out these back airs and hoping to find at least one to actually hit. But Yam just, we've seen how good his Hodan is. You know, despite Hodan being bad, I guess. But Retro, SK has just, he has the most buttons. Very simple moves, but can be chained together very nicely.
Yeah, but very interestingly here, you're seeing a lot of the adaptation coming out from Retro. You know, a lot of the side B to beat out on that Monkey Copter, this time not looking to do anything crazy, just simply looking to pick up
Dynamo
Oh my god! Okay, so we're starting to get the Retro classics, you know, starting to come back into form. We got the Dynamo Mail already, and here we go looking for some of these strong attacks.
It cannot be overstated how happy I am right now. Not only as a resident Shovel Knight main, but as a admittedly fan of Retro's gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, but right now, Yam, you know, might not be the hugest fan of that, was able to take that first stock, but immediately replied with the up strong as Retro right here, going to try to give as much damage out as possible. These down airs on the Sweat Spears could mean a lot, but being above the Hodan is always a super scary place to be.
Yeah, regardless of how safe Shovel Knight's down air is against most characters, Hodan's up B, especially when charged, is terrifying.
Right here, you can see Retro and Yam going toe-to-toe. I mean, there's that Hodan experience coming into play here. Yam at 100% and counting as Retro has enough gold to go for the late-game Shovel Knight, but instead going to wait, guts the mobile gear. It's like the man can hear us on comms.
Yeah, and by the looks of it earlier, after he parried those Sweat Spirits, it looked like he mistimed a wave dash and couldn't actually get a good...
Oh my god.
Waits the parry with a fully charged forward strong. That was kind of disrespectful.
Yeah, I mean, it was a beautiful read coming out from Retro, but also one thing I want to note, right? You know, continually goes for the down Bs, but pulls the rock, opts to pull the rock instead of the fish, and has setups off of it. You know, like I said, man always has something new to show. Meanwhile, Yam just trying to deal with the continual bag of tricks that Retro Shovel Knight has on hand.
Yeah, recovery with fishing is one of my favorite tricks that high-level Shovel Knights have, and you hardly see it because, admittedly, there are better recovery options that SK has, but it's always fun to see Retro pull these out. Just stands on the mobile gear, lets it get parried, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, stand on the mobile gear, looking to come on in, but Yam looking to escort Retro all the way out here. As right now brings it to last stock, Yam still looking to play for damage bit by bit, you know, piece by piece. 19% on the Shovel Knight, one up strong. Hold on, this could be a large conversion. Retro off stage in a bit of trouble. Monkey Copter up strong, not going to connect from Yam, but is going to from Retro, and the double parry has the rock on board, starting up with the mobile gear. Okay, we've started to cook here.
The stuff high-level Shovel Knight players can do with up strong rock is just beautiful to me. It's inventive, especially with mobile gear, being able to move that. But talking of mobile gear, that little hit giving Retro what he needs to find the up strong and take game 2.
Yeah, just like that, Retro gonna be able to take game number 2. The Shovel Knight coming out in full force. I mean, as we've said before, right? Many players do not enjoy playing the Dittos. So being able to see Retro bring out the Shovel Knight to avoid a Hodan Ditto is something that's honestly a huge treat if you're a Retro fan. But for Yam, you are in pain right now as the reverse up B off the side means Retro starts off game number 3, a full stock up.
Oh, it is so refreshing, so nice to see that happen in bracket. Regardless of how neutral I have to be, it's nothing about either of these players, just seeing that happen in bracket will always bring a smile to my face.
Yeah, I mean, it's some of the it's the simple things, right? You know, getting that down air spike, that down air conversion, really, into the reverse up B, you know, one of the real funny things. But okay, speaking of funny things, funny forward air coming through from Yam, gonna be able to even out that stock count. Monkey Copter doing so much work, and the conversion already coming in. It's looking like Yam doesn't want any analysis to be done, only wants damage.
Yeah, again, this is a very button-pressing matchup. Both these characters. Oh, things are looking up for Yum as he takes Retro to their final stock and just won't stop.
Oh,
that was the start of something beautiful. But regardless, it is very hard to continue something from Hold On down there, especially with how easy it is to fast fall off of it. A very nice angle for the up strong rock. Isn't able to land it, but gets another one out anyway. And
oh my god,
up strong.
Yeah, I mean, just farming that aerial up strong off of the rock, you know, masterclass from Retro here. But Yam, on the other hand, the only thing the man is farming is another reverse sweep in top 8. Game number 3 started off so Retro favored, and all of a sudden, Yam gets down to last stock. Man comes alive, gets so unbelievably strong on that final, potentially, you know, tournament stock. Monkey with the back against the wall gets super strong here, and Yam on a stage with this large of a blast zone might be a struggle to kill.
Yeah, especially with how we see a Retro is able to just train you off to the side with the forward airs, and especially with all this pressure, all this just button pressing that Retro is showing off right now. It's very even as both players just dance around each other's options.
Yeah, but right here you can see that Yam just looking for damage, looking for kill opportunities. EX Uppy going to be beautifully DI'd from Retro, but another EX Uppy. Yam just keeps on going for these monkey flips into Uppies, and it's working. You know, racks up damage, racks up possibilities to kill, racks up more neutral wins, racks up mental damage, and right now Retro in a lot of trouble. You know, down a stock, taking so much extra credit as Yam is going to continue with the Monkey Copters.
Yeah, of course. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It might be a bit broken, but they're not fixing it. Regardless, Retro already looking at a dangerous percent, 121 off stage against the... and just buys momentum out in front of the Hold On. Some might
gonna be able to survive for a while with that momentum mail.
Just all the sweat spirits.
The sweat spirit's just gonna continue to come out. One forward air from Retro, though, gonna be able to survive a little bit longer, gonna be able to just wrestle the neutral control away from Yam. Charges the up strong a little bit, doesn't quite let go early enough. Needs to pull that trigger just a frame or two earlier, but, you know, DI's away from the EX Uppy. 192 on the Shovel Knight, not going to be going down just yet. Still going to be looking for that kill. The splash kick from Yam to cover the Monkey Copter, though.
As we were seeing, Retro was just going for strongs. So seeing that, I was going to say flash kick, but that up tilt, just covering it and killing. Unfortunate now, on Retro's side, hilarious on Yam's side.
Yeah, now Retro in a little bit of trouble, able to DI out of the double monkey flip here, but, you know, might be at full build but you haven't been able to use the Ghost Gloves a single time. It's a question as to whether or not it's actually going to come into play.
Yeah, of course, and Retro just exceedingly in danger, having to bring out the meta loadout in that last stock. But will it be enough? 115 against a stock and 44. This is not looking good for the Shovel Knight.
Right here, you can see Retro just going to continue with these momentum mail Ghost Gloves combos, right? And picking up even more out the rock for the side B. And speaking of side Bs, yeah, I'm just continually throwing them out, throws out the funny fair, and right here just looking to deny Retro any chance of getting past this monkey. Oh,
and there it is, taking game 4 with an up B as we move on to the final game of these two brilliant Hodan mains, obviously Retro on the SK. But as I predicted to myself, he is pulling out the Hodan for a final gambit, final match.
And it is working. Retro is just continuing with the forward airs, not going to be doing anything particularly fancy, simply looking for damage, simply looking for continued forward airs, continued edge guards, continued rinse and repeats. But right here, with that parry, going to be able to not quite yet net a kill, but the EX up B going to be able to just barely sneak it out. You know, this is such a silly matchup, able to use each other's sweat spirits as well, and the monkey copters are going to be so powerful in this set.
Yeah, of course, and it's just, it's very easy to say yeah, okay. It's very easy to see why certain people do not like Dittos, especially with characters like this. Because, especially with very resource-heavy characters like Hodan, it's about if said Ditto, if you can interact with the opponent's resources, and if you can, it just makes for some wacky interactions.
Yeah, I mean, right here, right, you know, both of these players have to space around their own hitboxes, but they're just trying to play around with these sweat spirits. Huge damage coming out for Retro here. Gonna get punished by the splash kick, but not much more. Beautiful parry from Retro. Looks for the up tilt into EX up B, but not quite gonna be able to get it right now. Retro, a full stock up on Yam. This could be it. This could be his moment, and Yam unfortunately drops the recovery, but Retro gonna be able to take it in game 5 with a 2 stock.
Yeah, I mean, personally, probably my favorite set so far. Just seeing Retro pull out the Shovel Knight, obviously bringing out his just brilliant Hodan as a final gambit, and winning with said gambit. It's...
Yeah. I mean, you saw that Yam was making the adjustments necessary, and Retro just brings out the Hodan at the last moment to deny the full-on adaptation, right? But, you know, Retro, you finally did it. You finally lived up to your name.